If you take the effort to tell me your opinion or fight me, the artwork is that engaging.
Wow.
I think if it wasn't
I
that
love
great, you
that.
just move on to something else.
I love that.
And I think artists, designers in general, I think we have a responsibility to sort of express ourselves first in our opinion. So I think the work that I produce is not different to someone tweeting or updating their status about how they feel about like Bushiri. I've just chosen to sort of put that out there in a visual way, and I suppose maybe that does strike a chord more than words.
But really, have you ever received negative responses from those people, like in the commentary section? Have you ever read something where someone is literally not impressed with how you have portrayed a public figure?
A lot, and I think
A lot.
to some extent, I thrive off it. I feel like if you take the effort to tell me your opinion or fight me, the artwork is that engaging.
Wow.
I think if it wasn't
I
that
love
great, you
that.
just move on to something else.
I love that.
And I think artists, designers in general, I think we have a responsibility to sort of express ourselves first in our opinion. So I think the work that I produce is not different to someone tweeting or updating their status about how they feel about like Bushiri. I've just chosen to sort of put that out there in a visual way, and I suppose maybe that does strike a chord more than words. And I think that's art. I think art should do that. So I'm very open to debate. I'm always.
Yeah.
I think that it's healthy. It should be respectful, and luckily for social media, I'm free to block or delete any comment I don't like.
Yes.
But I like to just put it out there, just lay myself bare, and we have a conversation. And
No, I love that, and I want to say, please don't just restrict it to artists, artists like in the art form, because, I enjoy public speaking very much so, and I put out my content out there. Sometimes it's stuff that I've been briefed on, and other times it's just stuff that I wake up feeling that's heavy in the heart that I want to put out there. And naturally, I do, wonder about how it is received. And in most cases, to be honest, I haven't had negative commentary yet, and maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I should be putting out a lot more videos to warrant some negative comments. But I love what you said, David, when you said the moment you put something out there, the fact that people are inspired to engage you and comment on it, and sometimes it's not good, but they're inspired to say something. That's someone's time that they're taking out of their day to fully watch or appreciate what you've built, produced, and then say, okay, here's my thoughts on this. I never ever thought about it that way.
that's how I see it.
Oh my word. So something that would typically crush someone, because it's personal. Your art, your form of art is personal to you. My form of art, which is public speaking, is personal to me. So when I put it out there and someone crushes it or does not receive it well, I'm like, well, how was I supposed to put it out there? Then I spend time wallowing in my own thoughts to say, maybe I didn't do it well enough. I should practice more, or I should produce better content. It becomes about you as opposed to the person who has taken the time to, converse with you on that piece.
Yeah. I think I always make the analogy to singers as well, or like musicians.
Yeah.
A singer can be talented and have a good voice, play the instrument really well, but what they're singing about, like the song, it might strike a chord with you. The subject matter you might not agree with it, which is totally fine. I think as long as you all accept that the singer is talented. So I think it's the same with me. Like you can critique the subject matter. It will probably hurt a bit more if you critique me as an artist and say that's a bad illustration. But if you say I don't like what you're saying here, like what you're presenting, that doesn't hurt me. I think it just adds value to the piece. You see like art galleries when art is on the wall and art critics have their own sort of interpretations of art.
Okay.
That's what I love about my work. It's thought provoking, but it's still fun and easy to consume, shareable. Yeah.
100%. Wow. And obviously, I read out a few brands that you've collaborated with, that you've had the honor of working with. And there's still probably many more brands that are coming, you know, your way. Take it. This is the part where you say I receive.
I receive it. I want to raise this time of year, but I receive from next year,
For
January.
next year, 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. There's obviously some brands that you've thought about to say, these are the brands that I would love to work with. I did see your mood board, by the way.
Oh, wow.
The one that you established in 2018
yes.
and revised in 2019. And I think Adidas is one of the brands that you listed there. And several other things that you would love to accomplish. Are there any brands that you absolutely, from a principle point of view, would not love to work with?
I think because of the nature of my work, and so my audience is very vast. You can like from primary school kids to elders, because the nature of my work is very human, and it's easily interpreted by everyone, because it's mostly like portraiture, and I suppose, I mean, I try to stay away from, I think like just violence and pornography. I say this, but then I don't know what might happen that might influence me to create a piece that says my opinion about what's happening.
Okay.
If Zota Wabantu does something, I'm not saying she's pornography, but if she does something really crazy, I wanna have my opinion on that, and I might draw a piece with her.
Okay.
And she might be half naked, but it doesn't mean I enjoy, that. It's just I'm just expressing my opinion.
Sure.
Definitely, I try to shy away from like just violence, strong language, pornography.
You know, she's a beautiful spirit, that lady.
She is.
Did you see the interview with her on McG?
McG, I love her podcast.
Did you see
How did you know I know McG, or did you just assume?
No, I just assumed.
I actually started watching, like it's been a week now. I think I've watched all these. He's in like on episode 200 and something, and
Dude,
I've watched like 5.
That guy is. But did you watch the 1 year old one?
But yeah, she's so
is
free
a beautiful, free spirit.
Yeah,
My
she's someone you can't
gosh.
break because she just presents us how she is. So it's
She's
like
sure of who she is and what she stands for and what she wants to represent in the world. You know?
Yeah,
you
see,
can't hate that.
so I might share content on her, and someone might be like, "Why are you drawing bums?" Like, but no, this is what Wabandu. This is what she stands for. I'm just commentating on what's happening, and I'm expressing it. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. So obviously, I've seen that depending on what's happening in the world, and you've alluded to it, depending on what's happening in the world, you usually put your stuff out there very quickly. You know, you observe, you're like, hey, before it expires, let it remain current, and here's my thoughts on it. Do you ever, in the putting together and in the rushing of producing something, do you ever second guess whatever you're doing and think, this actually is not good enough in the haste of producing it? Because you want it to remain current, right?
Yes.
And then you're like, let me just put it out there.
Yes, so much. I'm thinking about publishing a book also of all my work.
Okay.
And I think it would be nice to sort of show, when DVDs or like when films have those at the end of the thing, like they show the scenes that they didn't use.
Yes.
Like when they messed up their lines.
Yes.
I almost want to do something like that.
Bloopers.
Bloopers.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd like to do something like that as well. Just show the pieces that didn't like make it.
And why didn't it make it? Time? What was it?
It just doesn't look great as the final piece that you may have seen. So the Prophet Bushiri one, there's a piece that I didn't like it as much, and then I saw another reference picture of him kneeling with his hands stretched, and it was shaped like a T.
Yes.
So I could use that in that prophet sort of artwork. So that those sort of little behind the scenes things that I'd like to share, like the pieces that never made it. I think it also shows that it's not just. It's not just a switch you flick on and
then magic, voila.
It's 3, 4, 5 hours behind the scenes of the work.
So exactly the 1 year Prophet Bushiri, how long did that take you to sketch and put together?
So it was 3.5 hours. Essentially what it is, it's tracing the reference picture. I think that's the way I work with that style, just to make sure that I get the proper like body features and just the proportion of the arms and legs, so that no one can be like, the leg is a bit long, that's not someone's leg. So that you focus on the subject matter, not if his nose is too big or whatever. But even that, it's work in itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.